Sometimes passion burns bright in the beginning, but over time, you start noticing small cracks in the connection. The way she looks at you, the energy in her touch, the excitement in her presence. It all feels a little different. And while most men ignore these subtle signals until it's too late, the truth is, women rarely just fall out of desire without leaving behind clues. If you've been wondering whether she's losing that spark for you, you need to pay attention now before distance turns into disinterest. But there's the good news. Just because the flame has dimmed doesn't mean it can't be reignited. In fact, understanding these signs could be the key to bringing back the passion, the chemistry, and the intimacy you both once craved. This isn't about chasing or begging. It's about awareness and action. If you can recognize the signals early, you'll know exactly how to step in and flip the switch back on. Because at the end of the day, attraction is not lost. It's simply waiting to be awakened again. And once you know how to reignite it, you'll never fear losing her desire again. 1. Her physical touch starts to fade. One of the clearest signs that a woman is losing sexual interest is when her touch slowly disappears. Think back to the early days. She used to lean into you, brush her hand against yours, cuddle without being asked, or even playfully grab you just to feel close. Touch was natural, effortless, and constant because attraction was alive. But when the spark begins to fade, her body language changes first. She may stop holding your hand, avoid sitting too close, or stiffen when you go in for a hug. Even intimacy in the bedroom may feel routine, quick, or avoided altogether. It's not always because she's angry or upset. Sometimes it's because her desire is slipping into the background and she doesn't even realize she's doing it. But here's the thing most men get wrong. They respond with desperation. They start asking questions like, "Why don't you touch me anymore?" Or they try to force closeness by clinging harder. And that only makes the problem worse because it creates pressure instead of desire. The real solution isn't to beg for affection. It's to reignite attraction. Women are drawn to men who feel confident, unpredictable, and exciting. If your energy has grown dull, predictable, or needy, her body subconsciously pulls away. So, how do you flip the switch? Instead of chasing her touch, create an environment where she wants to reach out. That could mean taking the lead on planning something spontaneous, surprising her with your ambition, or showing her the version of you that's full of energy and purpose. When you focus on becoming magnetic again, she naturally leans in. The absence of touch isn't a death sentence. It's a warning light on the dashboard. Ignore it and the car breaks down. Pay attention. Make the right adjustments and the ride becomes exciting again. Because at the end of the day, touch is more than physical. It's an emotional barometer. If she's pulling away, don't panic. See it as a challenge to reignite her desire by becoming the man she once couldn't keep her hands off. When you shift the focus back to your confidence, your drive, and your ability to spark excitement, that touch will return on its own, and it'll be stronger than before. 2. Conversations feel dry and distant. When a woman is truly attracted and invested, conversations flow effortlessly. She laughs at your jokes. She shares the little details of her day, and even the most random topics, somehow, feel exciting because the energy between you two is alive. But when that spark begins to fade, one of the first places it shows is in the way she communicates. Suddenly, conversations start to feel transactional. She gives short, vague answers. She no longer texts you with excitement, and her replies may come hours later with little effort. Face to face, she may seem distracted, uninterested, or even glued to her phone instead of being present with you. The deep, playful, and flirtatious exchanges are replaced by dry, small talk. How was your day? Fine. Nothing more, nothing less. The mistake many men make here is that they chase harder when they sense this distance. They ask too many questions, over-communicate, or push for conversations when she clearly isn't in the mood. This comes across as needy and only deepens the disconnect. Attraction doesn't thrive on constant pressure. It thrives on energy, presence, and curiosity. If she's not opening up, it's not always because she has nothing to say. It could be because she doesn't feel that spark with you anymore. So, how do you ignite it? First, stop treating conversations like a checklist. Instead of forcing her to talk, focus on recreating the energy that once made her eager to share. This means injecting playfulness back into your interactions. Tease her a little, be mysterious, tell her stories that spark emotion, or bring up shared memories that once made her feel alive around you. More importantly, bring passion into your own life outside the relationship. When you're genuinely excited about your goals, projects, and growth, you naturally have interesting things to share, and she'll feel drawn back into your world. Remember, women are emotional creatures, and attraction lives in the feeling of the conversation, not just the words. If she's distant, don't try to fill the silence with meaningless chatter. Create an atmosphere where she wants to lean in, laugh again, and feel that old connection come back to life. Because when you stop chasing her words and instead spark her emotions, those dry, distant conversations will transform back into the passionate exchanges that built your chemistry in the first place. 3. She stops making an effort in her appearance around you. In the early stages of desire, women put in noticeable effort. She'd spend extra time picking out an outfit, doing her hair, adding that touch of perfume, all because she wanted to feel attractive in your presence. It wasn't just about vanity. It was about sending a subconscious message. I want you to see me. I want you to want me. But when sexual interest begins to fade, that effort starts to disappear. Suddenly, she no longer cares if you notice her outfit. She doesn't put thought into date nights, and she may even start dressing up more when going out without you than when she's with you. It's a quiet but powerful signal that she's no longer seeking your validation or trying to spark your desire. Now, here's where most men panic. They think, she's not dressing up for me anymore. Does she not care? And they either confront her in a needy way, or worse, give up and stop putting in effort themselves. Both reactions backfire. Attraction isn't about guilt-tripping her into dressing better. It's about reigniting the reason why she once wanted to look her best for you in the first place. If she's not making that effort, it's not necessarily because she doesn't love you. It's often because the emotional and sexual spark that drove her to impress you has dimmed. So how do you reignite it? Start with yourself. Women are mirrors of the energy you bring. If you've grown complacent, wearing the same old clothes, neglecting your health, losing ambition, it's no surprise her energy has shifted too. Level up your own appearance, confidence, and drive. Go back to being the man who excited her, the man she felt she had to win over. At the same time, inject mystery and novelty back into the relationship. Plan experiences that require her to dress up. Create moments where she wants to feel feminine and desired again. Compliment her when she does put in effort, not with generic words, but with genuine attention that makes her feel seen. Because at the heart of it, women don't stop caring about their appearance. They stop caring about your reaction to it. When you remind her why she once lit up around you, when you bring back the energy that made her feel beautiful and craved, that effort in her appearance will naturally return. And when it does, it's a sign the spark isn't gone. It's simply waiting to be reignited. 4. Intimacy feels more like obligation than passion. One of the strongest indicators that a woman's sexual interest is fading is when intimacy shifts from something exciting and mutual to something that feels routine, mechanical, or even avoided. In the beginning, passion is undeniable. She kisses you with energy, She initiates. She surprises you. And intimacy is filled with chemistry. But when attraction slips, that spark is replaced by duty. She may still engage physically, but it feels half-hearted. The kisses are quick, the touch is minimal, and the energy that once made the room feel electric now feels flat. Sometimes she avoids intimacy altogether, claiming she's tired, stressed, or not in the mood. While those excuses may be real occasionally, when they become the norm, it's often because desire is no longer pulling her toward you. Here's where most men fall into the trap. They either push harder, demanding closeness, or they withdraw completely, hoping she'll eventually come back around. Both strategies kill attraction. Pressuring her creates resistance. So, while withdrawing makes her feel even less connected, the key isn't to force intimacy, but to rebuild the emotional foundation that fuels it. Women crave intimacy, not just from physical stimulation, but from emotional energy. If she doesn't feel desired, playful, or connected, her body simply won't respond. So, how do you reignite passion? Start by changing the script. Stop treating intimacy like a checkbox, and instead make it an experience. Surprise her with small gestures, affection outside the bedroom, subtle touches, whispered compliments, playful teasing that makes her smile. Build anticipation instead of jumping straight into expectation. Women thrive on emotional build-up. When she feels wanted in the small moments, the big moments come naturally. Also, focus on yourself. If you've become predictable, lazy, or uninspired, she senses it. Passion is contagious. When you carry confidence, excitement, and purpose, she feels it. Become the man she once couldn't resist, and intimacy will stop feeling like obligation and start feeling irresistible again. Because at the end of the day, a woman doesn't lose her capacity for passion. She loses the spark that ignites it. When intimacy feels like duty, it's not the end. It's a wake-up call. Reignite her emotions, bring back playfulness, and show her that being close to you isn't a task. It's an adventure she craves again and again. 5. She seems more excited about everything else than about you. When a woman is deeply attracted, you become the highlight of her world. She lights up when you walk into the room. She's eager to share moments with you, and even ordinary routines like grocery shopping or late-night talks feel special because they're with you. But when sexual interest begins to fade, her energy shifts elsewhere. She suddenly seems more enthusiastic about her work, her friends, her hobbies, or even scrolling on her phone than spending time with you. It's not that she doesn't have a life outside the relationship she should, but when everything else excites her more than your presence, it's a sign the spark between you is dimming. This shift is subtle at first. Maybe she cancels plans with you more often, but never skips a night out with her friends. Maybe she laughs harder at her co-workers' jokes than at yours. Maybe she invests her energy into projects, fitness classes, or social media, while you're left wondering why she doesn't bring that same enthusiasm to your relationship. It doesn't mean she's cheating or falling out of love. It means the emotional charge she once got from you is now being replaced by outside stimulation. Here's the mistake most men make. They try to compete with everything else for her attention. They get jealous of her friends. They criticize her hobbies. They sulk when she chooses something else over them. But that only pushes her further away because it shows insecurity instead of strength. A woman doesn't want a man who begs for her attention. She wants a man who naturally commands it by being magnetic. So, how do you reignite her excitement for you? Stop trying to drag her back into your world. Build a world so powerful, so full of energy, that she wants to step into it. Level up your goals, chase new challenges, and bring novelty into your relationship. Plan experiences she's never had before. Take her out of her routine and remind her why you used to be the adventure she couldn't resist. Women are drawn to men who expand their reality, not men who shrink into jealousy. Because at the core, her excitement hasn't disappeared. It's just been redirected. The moment you bring back that edge, that ambition, that unpredictability, she'll remember exactly why you once had her full attention. And when she feels that thrill with you again, no night out, no hobby, and no distraction will compare. 6. She stops flirting with you. In the beginning, flirting was effortless. She'd tease you, play with her hair, give you that mischievous smile, and send texts that left no doubt she was thinking about you. Flirting is the lifeblood of attraction. It keeps things exciting, playful, and alive. But when a woman starts losing sexual interest, the first thing that vanishes is that playful spark. Suddenly, conversations feel serious all the time. She doesn't compliment you, doesn't joke with you, and no longer engages in the back and forth banter that once made your connection magnetic. Instead, interactions feel more like roommate talk. Functional, routine, and predictable. And nothing kills desire faster than predictability. Many men miss this shift because they confuse comfort with closeness. They think she doesn't need to flirt anymore because we're settled. But that's a dangerous mindset. When flirting dies, attraction silently follows. Flirting is how she shows she wants you, not just that she loves you. Without it, the relationship risks falling into the dreaded just friends category, where love may exist, but passion does not. Here's the mistake most men make. When she stops flirting, they stop too. They mirror her energy, become passive, and wait for her to reignite the spark. But attraction doesn't work that way. Women respond to energy. They rarely create it out of thin air. If she's no longer playful, it's often because you stopped leading with the same charm, confidence, and edge that drew her in. So, how do you ignite her flirtatious side? You bring it back first. Start teasing her again in small, light-hearted ways. Give her compliments that feel fresh and specific. Not the generic "you look nice," but the kind of compliments that make her blush and feel desired. Add humor, mystery, and spontaneity to your interactions. Send a cheeky text that makes her smile in the middle of her day. Be unpredictable. Say something that catches her off guard and reminds her you're not just her partner, you're the man who excites her. Because flirting isn't childish. It's oxygen for attraction. If she's stopped, don't panic. See it as your cue to step up and reintroduce that playful energy. When you bring back charm, tease her in ways that spark laughter and show her she's still the woman who excites you. She'll naturally slip back into that flirtatious energy. And once the flirting returns, desire is never far behind. 7. She doesn't prioritize alone time with you anymore. When a woman is deeply attracted, she wants alone time with you. She'll find ways to be near you, cancel other plans just to hang out, and even the simplest moments, watching a movie, taking a walk, cooking together, feel special because she values that private connection. But when sexual interest begins to fade, alone time is the first thing to go. Suddenly she's too busy. She fills her calendar with work, friends, family, or personal projects. And when you do spend time together, it's often in group settings or distracted environments. The intimacy of just being with you one-on-one no longer feels like a priority. And that shift is one of the strongest signs the spark is slipping away. Most men make a critical mistake here. They start begging for her time. They guilt trip her with lines like, "You never spend time with many more." Or they grow resentful and sulk when she chooses something else over them. This only pushes her further away because it frames you as needy rather than magnetic. Women are drawn to men who have their own thriving lives. Men she wants to carve out time for, not men who demand it out of insecurity. So, how do you reignite her desire to be alone with you? First, flip the script. Instead of waiting around or chasing her, Start creating moments worth prioritizing. Plan experiences that are exciting, different, and unforgettable, something that pulls her out of routine. It could be a spontaneous road trip, a surprise dinner in a place she's never been, or even something as simple as turning off your phones and cooking together with music playing. The key is to create energy in those private moments, so being with you feels like an escape, no 10 obligation. At the same time, invest in yourself. When you're living with passion, chasing your goals, and carrying yourself with confidence, you naturally become a man she wants to be around. Alone time won't feel forced. It will feel like a reward. Women crave the presence of a man who radiates strength and purpose. Because the truth is, when she stops prioritizing time with you, it's not about her schedule. It's about a desire. Rebuild the energy that made her crave your company in the first place, and she'll start seeking out that own-on-one time again. And when she does, you'll know the spark isn't gone. It's been reignited. When a woman begins to lose sexual interest, it rarely happens overnight. It shows up in subtle ways. Her touch fades. Her conversations grow dry. Her effort and appearance drops. Intimacy feels like routine. Her excitement shifts elsewhere. The flirting dies down, and she no longer prioritizes alone time with you. Each of these signals may seem small in isolation, but together they paint a clear picture. The fire is dimming, and here's the truth. Most men don't want to face. Ignoring these signs is the fastest way to watch attraction die completely. The mistake is waiting, hoping things will magically fix themselves. But attraction doesn't repair itself. It thrives when you fuel it with energy, leadership, and presence. The good news is sexual interest isn't something that once lost is gone forever. Desire is cyclical. Women are emotional, responsive beings. And when you shift your energy, they naturally shift theirs. If she's pulling away, it's not the end. It's an opportunity to step back into the role of the man she once craved. That doesn't mean begging for attention or forcing affection. It means becoming magnetic again. It means surprising her, leading with confidence, reigniting your own passion for life, and showing up as the man who makes her feel excited, feminine, and desired. Every one of these signs is a wake-up call, not a death sentence. If she's losing interest, ask yourself, have you grown predictable? Have you stopped leading? Have you let comfort replace excitement? The same qualities that won her in the beginning, confidence, ambition, playfulness, and unpredictability, are the same qualities that keep her desire alive. When you embody them again, she'll remember exactly why she fell for you in the first place. Because at the end of the day, relationships don't die because love disappears. They die because desire is neglected. If you pay attention early and take action, you won't just save the spark. You'll reignite it stronger than before. And when you do, you'll stop fearing whether she still wants you.